Hey guys, gals. It's Wednesday, but you probably already knew that. Let's see. That doesn't help. So, according to, hey JD. So according to BuzzAngle, which I guess is a company that puts together or follows CD or music sales in general. I don't know what else they do, but that is one thing that they do. They generate reports at the end of the year for the previous year, and you can look it up online. There, I found an article about it. Basically, it says that physical CD sales, clearly CD sales. So physical music sales were down in general 2018 compared to 2017. However, vinyl sales were up like over 15% or 18% or something like that. CD sales were down 15.3% according to the report between 2000 compared to 2017, how it did in 2018. So it was 2017. These are new sales, of course. 74.5 million units were sold, CDs, and then 2018 60.7 million units were sold. So that is a big dip, and CD sales overall were down by CD sales were overall down by actually 18%. I was wrong, not 15%. I have to change the title. But interestingly, cassette tapes were actually up by 18.9% because a lot of artists are sort of doing like the throwback thing and issuing cassette tapes. I sold a cassette tape for that movie that came out in 2017, I believe, with what is it called? Atomic Blonde, and I found it in a Gaylord. It was still sealed, a CD, and I sold it for $20 on eBay. So people are definitely in certain genres too, but in overall, it's very small. It said it's up, and it said there was 120,000 brand new cassette sales in 2018, audio cassette sales. So that's a little side note, because that clearly is not touching where CDs are. But so because of this news, now this is not a surprise, because compared to 2016, I believe the numbers for 2017 were also down a little bit for new CD sales, but I didn't have enough space in the title to write the long enough title as I wanted to. But basically, I wanted to say, so CD sales are down in 2018. New CD sales, does that mean that we should get out of selling used CDs on Amazon and eBay? And I would say absolutely no. I'm not going to stop. Yeah. And so JD says, I buy a lot of both. Whoops. It's always older material or older artists, new releases. Yeah. CD sales have been going down for a while now. I think cassette tape. This is my guess, is the wave sort of starts way back. So vinyl has made a resurgence in the last, I believe it's been the last 10 or 12 years that it slowly started to come back, and then in the last like 5 or 6 years, it's made a huge comeback, and sales have really gone up for new vinyl. Not talking about used, but new vinyl. I'm sure used vinyl's gone up too, but vinyl's been around a long, long time, and I feel like the older stuff makes a comeback. So vinyl made a comeback a while ago, slowly, and now it just keeps on surging. And as of now, it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. So it's great to get into selling used vinyl for sure. And I think that no. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. Yeah, take it. Come on. Okay. Excuse me, guys. So, sorry. So, I feel like it goes way back to vinyl first, and then after vinyl, we had cassette tapes. Remember back in the '80s, having lots of cassette tapes. What be? Okay. And then CDs came along. You know, became popular in the '90s and 2000s. Were really the main go-to for music, for physical music. Well, clearly before we started streaming and or even before we had digital iTunes and whatnot. So I feel like the wave is going that way, where vinyl is big, huge now, coming back in a big way. It's already back. It's just going to keep growing bigger and bigger. Who knows for how long? And then I feel like cassettes are going to make a little bit of a surge, which they have. 120,000 new cassette tapes sold in 2018. That's crazy. And I feel like CDs are kind of, you know, they're too new, so they're going to kind of go out of favor, the new stuff. And they'll come back, you know. I don't know if they'll come back as big as as big as vinyl, but they'll probably make a comeback in however many years. New ones at least. But when it comes to used CDs, it's huge. I mean, people are buying used CDs on Amazon, on eBay all the time. I know because I sell lots of them every month. So, and I have a small inventory between the two. I mean, if I had a significant inventory, if I had like 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, you know, CDs for sale between eBay and Amazon, I'd be selling probably, you know, over 1,000 a month or whatever, depending on how many. But there's just so many CDs being sold between the two. So sales, used CD sales, are not going anywhere. If anything, they're probably doing better because people are trying to find the older titles that are harder to find, maybe, or are tired of having digital music and or streaming, and they want to own it, and they want to listen to the whole album, and they want to look at the artwork and all that, which is one of the big reasons for vinyl, aside from how it sounds. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry. Not that anybody's worried watching this. But yeah, so definitely if you're not selling CDs, then who cares? But if you're selling CDs, you're thinking about it, use CDs, then definitely keep it up for sure. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't foresee it going anywhere, even though new CD sales go down. I mean, I find I just sold a CD today for 28 bucks. I had it listed for like 35. I accepted the offer on eBay for 28 bucks. I mean, I sell CDs all the time for over $25, $30 on eBay and on Amazon too. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of money in used CDs. You just gotta. Anyway, I think it's interesting though to see kind of where the trend is going, because streaming continues to grow, which makes sense. You know, more and more people, it's still a growing segment. More and more people are, I don't do streaming, but, you know, more and more people are joining, and it's becoming more popular. But yet I think, like, as people retire, like baby boomers are wanting to relive their youth, so they're buying old records, used and new. Younger people are getting into, like millennials and even younger, getting into vinyl. It's become cool. It's not just the way it sounds, but it's a cool thing to have a record collection. You know, have 100, 200 records in your house with your record player and your nice sound system, and have people over. I mean, that's the thing. And I highly recommend reselling used vinyl. It's a huge, huge market. There's tons of money to be made in that. I've dabbled in it, but they're just, you know, it's just a whole different animal. It's a lot more involved and whatnot. And maybe one day I'll get back into it, but so much quicker dealing with CDs when it comes to that. But anyway, so yeah, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, there's always going to be collectors. You know, vinyl made a big return, I think, because of baby boomers retiring, and hey Renegade, and welcome. There's 4 of us plus me, so 5 of us. And I mean, vinyl made a big return, I think, because of baby boomers, and then I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I will say that it seems like the baby boomers, wanted to listen to the older stuff, and then younger people started to get into it. I'm not exactly sure why, but they started getting into vinyl, and cassette tapes have not made a big return. But I wouldn't be surprised if cassette tapes become more popular as like a cool throwback, you know, vintage type of thing where collectors will want to have the CD, the vinyl, and the cassette tape of their favorite albums, that type of thing. I know for certain genres, like for rap, cassette tapes hold they're more valuable. They were a big part of the culture and the genre, and maybe others that I don't know about. But I know for rap that's a big deal. For cassette tapes were a huge part of the culture, hip hop or rap culture as it grew. And vinyl, I think aside from the way it sounds and all that, I think it's a big cultural thing for a lot of people too. Yeah, my '96 CR, oh, RV still has a cassette player. Oh yeah, plenty of old cars have cassette players. I mean, nowadays I'm glad that a lot of new cars still have CD players, but yeah, they don't tend to have the cassette players for sure. So so yeah, but I would definitely keep on keep on selling CDs for sure, use CDs, and definitely don't stop doing that. So speaking of that, today, which I know I've been talking to you guys a while, well, not a while, but I talked about it yesterday that I was getting another batch of Gaylords, and I got them today, this morning. They delivered them, so I had cleared out a bunch of space, and I had a Gaylord of DVDs here, and I decided to offer them to my source because they have people that want Gaylords of CDs. Yeah, that's true, JD. And so I wanted the space more than I wanted to resell them. One sec. And so I ended up making the space here. I had a whole Gaylord here full to the brim of DVDs. So I made the space and I sold it off to my source so that he could just flip it to someone else. And I just got credit towards what I got today. Because I didn't want to hassle with having to go through a whole nother Gaylord of DVDs. And I can always get more DVDs. They have mixed media Gaylord, so I can always just get, like, if I buy just one Gaylord of mixed media, I'll get hundreds of DVDs in there. They tend to be mostly DVDs, actually. So I bought 4 Gaylords of CDs today. 1, 2, 3, and then I bought one of books over here, which is packed with books. And my source was really cool today. He had 7 boxes of CDs that he decided just to throw in. Said, hey, it's like a bonus, whatever. I think he just wanted to get rid of it, clear out some space. But I have these gigantic boxes of, they're all sealed. They're all full of CDs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One down there, 5, 6. And I already went through one of them. You can see they're really huge. So funny thing is, once you go through them, so you can kind of see, I'm going to flip this around because that just does not work. So as you can see, that's all the CDs that were left that I pulled from this box that was full. They weren't stacked in there like that nicely. They were jumbled in there. And after I went through all of them, there were DVDs too. Other stuff, that's all that was left after I pulled all the stuff that didn't, have anything in it. This is FBA, Merchant Fulfilled. These need to be resurfaced for FBA. I found this one, a rare, I think, punk or whatever CD, which is kind of funny. It's called Death by Unga Bunga, the Mummies. So I don't know. And then there's this DVD, and then I found this thing, which might be worth some serious money. Whoops. Called the Listening Program, and it's got these like 8 CDs or 10 CDs in there, and it looks like it's going for like $200 on eBay. So if that ends up going for that amount, that'll be like the most valuable box of CDs I probably ever found. Anyway, so that's all that was left in the box. So I'm gonna have all these boxes that I can use to put all of the excess CDs. And once I go through them, I mean, those 7 boxes alone are probably gonna be, I don't know, 1,000 or so. So it's like having another half a Gaylord of CDs. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. Renegade asked, "What is a good margin of profit for used CDs?" Well, it depends on on what you're comfortable with. I try to for CDs. So this is not high enough. Hold on. So for I'm gonna have to like bend over. So for CDs, for Amazon, I try to stick. I said this before, between $2 and $3. If I have a bunch of really quick selling CDs, whether they're or FBA or merchant filled, I might go barely under $2, but I tend to try to stay within $2 to $3 profit. So for a CD, a single CD, so if I sell a single CD for $9.99 FBA, I'll make $4 and like a quarter roughly. 4.23 I think is what it is, but could be wrong. And so then drop it down to $8.99. So like $7.50ish. If I sell it for like $7, I'll make like $2 or something. So I try to stay usually like let's see, what is that? Like $8.50 and up, sort of. But it's more about what the profit says. The excuse me, the total profit is, and how fast it's going to sell. I'm not gonna do a FBA CD for $2 or $3 if it's going to take forever to sell. It's going to have more profit in there, and I'm going to have to be the only offer, that kind of thing. There's going to have to be other reasons. I'd rather have there be few offers on the page, other sellers on there. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. I mean, with merchant fulfilled, kind of feel the same way. I mean, I can go for the lower profit stuff, but I'd rather have it make a little more money, even if it's going to sit around on my shelf, because it's taking up shelf space at home. And I've been selling pretty well though, merchant fulfilled. It's kind of impressive to me. I don't have the numbers right now, but I'm selling this month. I'll definitely sell more than one a day. I think I'm up to like over 40 or something. Yeah, way more than that. So I'm going to keep adding more merchant fulfilled. I mean, I have more merchant fulfilled so far than FBA. But yeah, I don't, when it comes to profit, I just want to stay usually with $2 to $3 and kind of pay attention to how long it's going to sell, how long it's going to take to sell. So, I'll look at the sales rank. I'll look at how many it's sold over the past 6 months. What my competition is. If there's already 5 people on there and I'm only going to make $2, it's not worth it. I'd rather just not bother. So yeah. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. If you guys have comments or questions, let me know. I'm going to keep, I'm going to go through these, and you find a lot of like, I'm only selling as a merchant fulfilled currently on various types of items, but haven't tried CDs or DVDs. A lot of new ones are restricted. So you have to get ungated for CDs and DVDs. You can't sell them if you're a newer seller. They gated the music category November of, it was either 2000, I think it was 2016 or 2017. I can't remember. DVDs were restricted, I think, back to like 2014, where you can get in there, but you have to provide like invoices from like a distributor showing that you bought them new. I don't know, some nonsense. So You can do it, but it just becomes a pain. Are you doing mostly books, or I mean, media-wise? Tend to buy merchant fulfilled on Amazon as long as the total price is less than prime price. Seems it's more often now. Oh, you mean for you personal, for what you buy personally? Yeah, you know, I used to buy a lot of books on Amazon. I'm talking like years ago. 15 years ago. Yeah, I used to do that a lot, but hold on. But I mean, I don't have a need to buy books or anything on Amazon now. Well, I won't say anything. Anything in regards to books or CDs, stuff like that. Unless it's, I mean, unless I'm getting a present for somebody that's a book or some type of media. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just not gonna spend. Man, I'm not really spending any money on there for media stuff. So basically, I am back to sorting. I'm back to sorting CDs. For now, I'm just going to do the... You'd be surprised what you find in here. For now, I'm just doing the boxes. Once I'm done with the boxes, then I'll start digging into the Gaylords. I'll probably go through the boxes, see how many I have for FBA, Merchant Fulfilled, and I might just list with what I have. I find so much of this stuff that's in other languages, like non-Spanish other languages. Sometimes Chinese or Korean or Taiwanese or you know, and I don't know. I look on eBay, I look on Amazon, and this stuff just doesn't come up with the barcodes. And I sold a couple of months ago a CD in, I can't remember the language, but in another language, and sold for like 20 bucks or something. So I was like, oh, maybe there's some money in some of this stuff, but you know, I wish I had somebody who could, or that there was like a lookup service to do different like in other languages. And that's why I think I might sell some CDs and vinyl on Amazon, Merchant Fulfilled, or eBay, or Discogs. Actually, would just be part-time extra income for me. The CD. Oh yeah, because you're doing books, I guess. Trading Places. Yeah, so when you have access to like so much, you know, so many books and CDs and whatnot, the issue becomes focusing, trying to make sure that you don't get too scatterbrained or trying to do all different things at once, or instead of focusing on something, on one thing or a few things to resell. I mean, I know that's what happened to me. I've sort of had to recover from that, where when I first started doing bulk a couple years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, when I started getting the mixed media Gaylords, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much cool stuff in here, and I was almost like I was just not focusing on creating a system and making that system, you know, run smoother, from how do I sort to scanning, to throwing things away that I know I'm not going to sell or try to sell, or donating them. Not just, oh, I'll put them in a pile and deal with it later, but just deal with it now as I'm going through it. What happens is you end up getting all these stacks. Oh, there's all these stacks of VHSs, and there's stacks of DVDs, and there's stacks of audiobooks, and there's stacks of this and that and the other. And you got to make a decision. So am I going to sell this stuff on eBay if I'm not going to be able to sell it on Amazon? If not, I need to get rid of it. Give it away, donate it, or try to sell it, you know? Otherwise, it's just going to... it's not only going to take up physical space, but it's going to take up mental space. Just, and for me, like stressing about it, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to get rid of it? So it's almost like too much good stuff where you've got to focus on something, you know? Are you mostly going to do books? Are you mostly going to do CDs? Are you mostly going to do DVDs? Are you mostly or all only going to do those? For me, I'm mostly doing CDs. And then you know, when I find good stuff like audiobooks, video games, you know, that are good for Amazon, I put them on there, and then a little bit of books. But mostly it's CDs for now because I make more money per, you know, bulk buy per Gaylord than I do from books, and CDs take up way less space. They weigh a lot less. So for me, it makes more sense for now, until potentially I get actual warehouse or, you know, big space. But even then, you know, it's important to focus. I mean, should you do CDs and books, or should you just go all in with CDs, all in with books, whatever it is, and be really good at that and make as much money as you can, max it out, and then maybe dabble in other stuff. Yeah, JD. Yeah. I'm just talking in general, but you know, everyone has different situations. I mean, JD says he got a major full-time job, so a full-time job, but he wants to retire early. Selling music or movies would be good because I have lots of knowledge, like myself, for extra income. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, everybody's situation is different. You know, this is the way I make money. I don't do it full time, but as my kids are getting older, I'm able to do it more, to work on it more, because my daughter is going to school 5 days a week, and my son is starting in September will go 5 days a week. So that means starting in September, I will be able to work on this in the morning and then an hour or two. So basically from like 9 to 2 or whatever, 2:30. I mean, of course, you know, eating lunch, but I'm just saying I'll have like 5 hours to, you know, so what is that, 25 hours a week in the morning and early afternoon, and then, you know, maybe an hour or two in the afternoon. So even then I won't be doing full time, but I'll be doing more hours than I've ever done with this. So everyone's situation is different. Some people have a full-time job and they're doing this for extra income. Some people have a full-time job, but they're trying to replace it and move into doing it only and quitting their job. Everyone's situation is different. And that's why this is great, because you can make it work with your situation. That's why, I mean, like my wife was talking to an old friend of hers who's struggling financially and was like, you know, needing to make more money and all that stuff, and you know, and I was like, she should start reselling books. I mean, you know, that's not for everybody, but you know, it's just whether it's books or whether it's CDs, or whether it's vinyl, or it could be, you know, groceries. But I think that it's a great opportunity. So, but especially when it comes to media, there's just books everywhere, and there's all types of media everywhere, and there's no time like now to resell. And you don't have to have a ton of money. You don't have to have a ton of time. You need a little bit of money to start, and of course you need to invest some time into it, but you don't need to invest 40 hours a week. You can do 10 hours a week to start after work, on the weekends, and then bump it up, maybe do more, 12 hours, 15 hours, you know, as you get better at it. And that's the thing. If I had a full-time job, oh yeah, for Gaylords, yeah. I mean, if I had a full-time job, and started to do this, you know, after work, a couple days a week, on the weekends, sourcing, that kind of thing, shipping things in, after like 3 months, 4 months, and starting to see sales, I would get pretty excited. I mean, I can see how that would be super exciting. And then the dilemma becomes, you know, how do you really ramp it up? And how do you grow your income enough to where you can actually quit your job? JD says, I need to figure out sourcing Gaylords to even get started. Yeah. Gaylords, I mean, if you live in a highly populated area, there's going to be, or region, there's going to be sources. But if you live away from a major city or major highly populated area, it's going to probably be harder. But then again, you might be the only one reselling books. So that could be a good thing. Or whatever, books or whatever you're doing. I find these in the little slips all the time. So there's 11 of us here. If you guys have questions, when I first started, so there's a bunch of you here that weren't here when I started the video talking about how CD sales have gone. So new CD sales in 2018 were down by 18%, and vinyl sales were up by like 18%, I think is what it was. No, I don't know what it was, but vinyl sales were up. And then even cassette sales, audio cassette tapes were actually up in 2018 because a lot of people, you know, offering cassette tapes for new music, but only 120,000 plus cassette tapes were sold. New cassette tapes were sold in 2018. But for CDs, I mean, I don't think it matters, you know, like I was talking about. So, you know, they're down a lot, the new ones, but new sales. But when it comes to used sales are booming for sure. I mean, based upon, you know, what I see with my sales and whatnot. Yeah, let's start some part-time while I'm still working the next few years, so I'd have a feel for it and then grow it once I had some more time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I started in 2014, it's funny because the first thing I found out about was doing retail arbitrage, which was, I don't remember how I came across this person's website, but they had a little program to teach you how to do retail arbitrage. So you go into the Walmart or Walgreens or CVS or whatever, and you find stuff on sale. You know, it's all new stuff, clearly, and you just buy it and send it into Amazon FBA and resell it. But I just didn't like, I didn't have an interest in reselling all that stuff. So then on YouTube, I stumbled across videos about reselling used books, and I couldn't believe that this guy was making money. So I kind of dove into it then. Well, not dove into it, but I kind of stuck my toe in and started sending in shipments. And it took me like 6 months or so before I really figured out, you know, what were better books to send in. And probably took me like a year and a half. I mean, to really, because a lot of stuff I sent in the first like 6 months to a year, probably the first year, were not the best. I sent in a lot of, this of course was before FBA fees went really high back in 2017. So in 2015 and In 2016, FBA fees were really low, and you could send in a gazillion items and have a really low sell-through rate, and you would hardly pay anything per month for Amazon to store your items, and then you could wait a long time to sell your stuff, you know? So, yeah. So my sell-through rate was really low, but I was still making sales because I had a bigger inventory. And now I'm working towards having a bigger inventory, but having a much higher sell-through rate. This month, I should get around 200 sales between FBA and Merchant Fulfilled. I might break 200. What is it? One more day left tomorrow. So I'll have to look again at the numbers, but I'm really close to it. So considering my inventory is pretty small, I mean, my sell-through rate is decent between the two. So I want to try to keep between 20 and 30% monthly sell-through. Hey, Mark, rate. Let's see. Said, I started buying liquidation pallets by chance when I ran across someone at a yard sale that had a liquidation warehouse. Bought my first pallet for $250 and flipped it for $1,000. What kind of stuff was in there? Was it media or was it something different? Yeah, I'd be curious to know if that was media or if it was, you know, completely different types of products. Because I've seen a lot of videos of people on YouTube, you know, who do that, where they buy liquidation pallets. I've even seen it listed on on Craigslist, where people have, you know, warehouses in there. They have pallets of all different types of stuff. Sometimes they're electronics, sometimes they're health, sometimes they're grocery, sometimes they're, I don't know, all different types of stuff. Oh, toys. Yeah, toys are another big one. Yeah, that's great. 250, flip it into 1,000 plus. Was it all new, I take it?
Okay, are we gonna do a new thing? Today, yeah. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah, we can start now.
I just put up last night a big lot of loose CDs on eBay, and I just got my first bid. So hopefully we'll get some more bids. Oh, right, Mark. Sorry. You can email me at marshallbookman@gmail.com if you don't want to mess around with Instagram. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can email me at that one, marshallbookman@gmail.com. Renegade, a lot of them were open boxes, but still sold really good, either as used or new. Okay, cool, great. Are you going to keep buying those? I've never done the pallets of other types of stuff. I mean, you know, like the non-media. But I can see how there can be some great money in that for sure. Oops. Oh, cool. A drone, huh? Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably very similar. It's probably very similar to the CD mixed media type of stuff where you never know what you're going to find. I mean, like I said, I found this listening program thing where it's got CDs, like 8 of them, and then a couple more back there. And it's selling for a ridiculous amount of money on eBay. It looks like I might be missing something, like maybe it was supposed to have a booklet. Well, there's definitely no booklet in here, but even so, I mean, even if I sell it for $100, it's crazy. So I find stuff like that all the time for eBay, but also for Amazon as well. So it's just, you know, you'll find a lot of stuff that goes for lower dollar amounts, but then there'll be these things you'll find that'll go for way more. It's just a matter of putting the notice, you know, recognizing stuff and looking it up, spending the time to look it up and all that. Okay. So sometimes you find some adult stuff. This is not nudity, so I can show it, but let's see. I'm just finding loose video games. Ultimate Alliance 2. I don't know if that's a good one, so I'm gonna look those up. That's the great thing about eBay, is that you can just sell like a disc, whether it's a CD or a video game. Honestly, like if I could get Gaylords of only video games, I would totally buy those because, man, people will go crazy for video games. They will pay a lot of money. I see it on eBay all the time, whether it's PlayStation or even I've sold not a ton, but a good amount of PC games as well. Are you selling? That's cool. Renegade says selling all different types of stuff. Small electronics, cell phone accessories. Is it just on Amazon or do you also do eBay? Is it mostly Amazon? I don't know what that is. Oh, jeez, 3:20. Probably gonna have to end the video shortly because I gotta go pick up my son. I want to finish sorting this box, and I'm not able to do that while I continue to do the video, unfortunately. Yeah, oh no, that's good, that's good. Yeah, video games there can be so much money in video games. I've sold a lot of great video games. So, so I'm gonna end the video, guys. The video was about, you know, how CD sales have gone up. Well, now 2 more people join, or rather, CD physical sales have gone down. But yet, I feel that, you know, if you're doing CDs, you should continue to do it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, especially used CDs. I think it's going to get even better. Hey, oh, hey Nathan, how you doing? If anything, I think the used CD sale market is going to be going up instead of going down for sure. For some of you guys that came here later today, I got oh cool, Nathan, of books. So today I got 4 Gaylords of CDs, that one, this one in here, this one, and then books, one of books. And my source showed up with 7 huge boxes full of CDs like these. So I got 7 of those on top of it. I guess they just needed to get rid of them, make some space. He told me that they have about, oh, general merchandise. So he told me that they have like at least 10 other Gaylords sitting around of just CDs. So, so they definitely, you know, have a lot that I can buy. I just don't have the space right now, or the people power to get through, you know, that amount. But yeah. Well, I don't know where you live, JD, but they're here in Southern California, so for 1 Gaylord, I don't think they'd make a delivery in another state. But thanks. Yeah, I've been with the source for a couple of years now. Gosh, I think we've been like since 2017. I think I've been buying from them. Yeah, Indiana. Oh man, if you buy a whole truckload. If you bought a truckload of books, they'll hire a company to drive it to you, but that's gonna be pretty pricey, and you're gonna need a warehouse for that. Yeah, Yeah, so I've been with the source for a while. They're honest, and they've been good for me with me, and I lost their number for a little bit because the person I was in contact with left the company, but then I reconnected, and everything's been going great. So I'm just trying to, like I've talked about in a lot of my videos, just ramp it up, you know. Just sending a lot more shipments. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys don't have any other questions or comments, I'm probably gonna wrap it up just because I gotta go pick up my son, and I want to finish off this box before I do. Yeah, maybe JD, maybe. But please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Thursday. I should be making a video tomorrow, and probably something to do with going through the Gaylords or some, you know, whatever's going on with that and the boxes. Will more than likely be what the video's about, because I'll be doing this for several weeks now, or for several weeks going forward. All right, guys. Oh, and I sold a book on eBay today. It was by like Theodore Roosevelt and somebody else. I sold it for $50, and I pulled it out of a Gaylord, one of my book Gaylords from a week or so ago. So that was a great sale, and I just sold a CD for $28 as well. So you never know. eBay's up and down, but sometimes there's some great days. Yeah, the book sale was awesome. I had it up for $59. He offered me, or he or she, I think it was a woman, offered me $50. I was like, I'll take it. I mean, I just pulled it out of the Gaylord, one of the many old books, and I looked it up. And sometimes you got to spend the time to look up these older books or older CDs, or, you know, CDs without barcodes, or books without ISBNs, and you never know. Renegade says the original liquidation pallet location I used sold their business, and the other person didn't follow through on keeping the business open. Oh no. So yeah, so you know, a lot of people are really big on thanks, and which is smart. You know, are really big on speed when it comes to getting through inventory, and I totally agree. You should have a good system. You should have a scanner, you know, a Bluetooth scanner, and scan quickly. But at the same time, there's certain stuff you got to look up. You got to type in the ISBN, or you got to just, you know, type in the title, whatever. And a lot of times you'll find really valuable books and CDs and other stuff. So you never know. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. We've had a lot of people watching today. I should make another video tomorrow.